parts for my Weedhopper. There's the first container, it had a hole in it. We have to check that out and see if there's any problem. This box right here came open. I don't know if anything is missing. So we'll have to check that.
Glenn, this is Lou DeMico. I'm taping this from a tape that I had, projecting my camcorder on the television set. This is after ordering it in July, I think it was. First piece arrived in October, as you can see. I'll just zip through this, give you a brief idea what you get when you buy a kit. I thought you might enjoy this tape. I'm taping it on the 3rd, I started anyway, of January.
So this is what the Weedhopper looks like right at the moment in my garage. I shall dismantle and see what the bill of lading says. What parts I received. They're not all here yet. The engine is going to be sent by UPS. Gauges, probably the ballistic sheet. It is around 6:30. I'm finally taking the boxes apart.
Now this is only supposed to take you 8 to 12 hours. Started around noon and here at 6:30, and just to unpackage it.
There was a box of fittings. Looks like brackets. This box here looks like it contains all of the, I hope, throttle assembly. Not the throttle.
No packing slips, no nothing with it. You can see why the man went out of business.
Stabilizer. This thing here, I don't know yet what it is.
Well, that was the muffler hold assembly. To hold a muffler. Found out later by myself.
Brake assembly, that's just bare aluminum. No protection on it. Fenders on.
So we'll...
And then there was this box here, which has the seat belt, the airspeed.
I will advance it a little bit. Okay, there's the tail assembly.
Stabilizer rod. Tubing.
That's the box that was damaged. I thought maybe something would be bent, but it wasn't. Everything has to be buffed down, cleaned, washed down with turpentine. Again, the 8 to 12 hour assembly time.
Like the tail assembly rod. Very poorly painted.
Yeah, I even repainted that gas tank.
Exhaust pipe.
They come black. I bought some special high temperature tape, paint rather, withstand high temperatures, red, to match the plane.
Last container to open is the tubing. Let's see what shape they're in.
There's all the tubing.
This is part of the wings and body. I've had it for the day, so I'm going to turn
This is now evening. part of that 8 to 12 hours assembly time.
And the fuselage trailing the leading edge of the wing. Fuselage, parts for the chassis, the wheels. Trailing spar there, and the front spar.
See how everything is all
this here is the
dirty tubing, part numbers written on it, just the way it comes out of the stock bins. That all had to be buffed off.
Here, to get out the print, check them all out. And here is the motor mount, all assembled. There is the seat. Broken. That out. And there's quite a few parts missing yet.
And that's for sure. They were missing for many months.
The claims is coming by UPS. All the other parts are in that box. I covered them up. Living. Taxiing and starting a plane, and it.
Yeah, this was another venture I was into, a trike, but this fella that crashed this was the fella that builds and sells them. He was taking up a student and cranked it over, and they got away from him, drug him from behind with the student at the wheel, and they smashed into a car.
The engine took off at high
Broke
speed.
the guy's leg and everything.
Ran across the ground into a car.
So much for that. I don't know if there was any lawsuits or anything. My wife's sitting in the car there, Mary. So we'll continue on here. Yeah, see how it bent in the chassis, and guy's shoe is still inside there. Throttle was set a little too fast, I guess, and it took off on him and grabbed him by his pants or something and was dragging him. That's the wing. It didn't damage the wing or anything.
Can't tell anyway, it's in the bag.
We're back at the garage.
Painting all these tubings.
October 14th.
And painting them with a Rust-Oleum hard coat.
Yeah, that's what I used. Rust-Oleum clear hard coat.
Still have quite a bit to do here. There's some parts there.
Many hours of buffing and painting and washing.
These
and
are all
painting.
the wing struts that have to be done yet. The wing grids.
So we'll zip through this. These are all got to be done here.
The plane. Trying them out outside here.
As I'd do them, I'd put them outside and
More parts of the wing.
Stuff didn't dry too fast. So.
And I'll park my car up the driveway here so that...
Yeah, the overspray still got on my windows, believe it or not.
Both cars.
Just with the spray can.
These I have hanging from my gutter to dry.
Part of that 8 to 12 hours assembly time.
More parts of the wing. That's the stabilizer there with the elevators. A nice steel wool.
Yeah.
Well, we check our plans out here every now and then. See where some of these parts go.
We went eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
This is what it's going to look like when it's complete. Horse. Here's the motor assembly. This is where the motor will be mounted onto. Where the seat bolts to. That's the nose part. And now it's going to be back to work onto these. Reassembling. These are all my finished product, waiting to be assembled. All polished down and coated with rust aluminum, clear rust aluminum. These with those little nylon clips clip on.
We even used them. Used the clothesline to dry them out.
Wing spar. Right there. So I finally got them all buffed and painted. This is part of the steering. There's where the tire goes inside. Little fender. This is the main axle that everything gets attached to. These are part of the axle to the wing. These two bars right here. They go on the extreme end of the wing. There's the front wheel. This is what I've been coating all this.
Yeah, that's the Rust-Oleum, clear seal.
$3.99 a can. Close you can get.
There it is, December 16th. The motor just came in.
Yes, overnight air.
You notice you got your money back within, what is it, 6-7 weeks if you didn't get all the parts. Here we're gone from July to December, and parts are still dripping in. See, there's the little fuel pump.
spark plugs, clamps,
the boot for the carburetor,
and a toolkit that you hook right to the
Then I made that pouch to put in the front with that toolkit. Bare necessities. Just trying to speed it up a little here before I get a kink in my neck. What do we got here? March the 14th, 1997. They're really expediting everything to me.
wing sails, the sails for the entire plane, yellow and red, which I've been waiting quite a while. Inside is the wing.
That's the bags to put the wings in. All the gauges. You have the empty boxes there for the gauges. There's the strobe, the smart strobe.
Here's the cylinder head temperature, the CHT they call it.
Tapes. Part of the tapes, not all of them.
Parts together. This is the rudder assembly. Just anchored those on the hinge. Now I will be taking that. I put on the sail part.
You see my rudder there, how the seam is on the outside? So I call him, I said, Jesus, is it supposed to be that way? He says, oh no, you're supposed to turn the material inside out. So I had to pull everything apart again. Then that rough edge you see would be on the inside.
Quite a few more parts.
What a job it was to do that.
There, to mount. In here is the sail for the wings, stabilizer. All the gauges and everything in there.
See the strip, look to their left there. See that hanging out? That should be inside. Take it all apart again and turn that inside out. What a job to do with that.
Over top of the cloth. But I don't want to cut it because there will not be a edge. Here, the stabilizer and elevator assembly. It's all better job of stitching these sails on the rudder. So the elevator hinge and bracket set.
them parts how to be assembled. Just remember, any of those bolts, if you ever loosen any and put them back, you just snug them up and then 1/8 extra turn. Otherwise, you collapse the material. He'll tell you that in the tape. He emphasizes 1/8 turn after they're snug, because you'll just collapse the aluminum. This was down in the basement here where you had tea and crumpets with us on my table. It was a little cool out yet, so did most of my work in the basement.
Spreading.
There it is, complete.
Notch.
Now it's March 28th.
So a little trial and error.
Started to put some of the pieces together.
This block here, I didn't know which direction it went.
That's the motor mount rod.
Actually, I had it on backwards. I had to take it back off, reverse it. These blocks right here are long on one side, short on the other. And I had them on the wrong side. Had to remove them.
Take them off, put them the right way.
Put them back the other direction so that
no instructions on the print, as you will see.
Here would fit. That goes right to the tail. It hooks right up into these little tangs right here. Prints could stand a little updating.
About 99% updating.
Trial and error. I wasn't too fond of that quarter 28 bolt they had in here, so I got a 5/16, 18 stainless steel with block washers. Which should not come apart. And the only way you can get the distance between that top tube and the bottom is by putting the rudder on. And there's the rudder. You have an upper hinge and a lower hinge. The lower one has 2 spacers, the top one has 1.
So that's the only way you can maintain a distance.
Just float.
Because that threaded bolt in the back is threaded completely from top to bottom. So you can make whatever adjustment you want.
So we shall continue now. There's an extra hole here that I don't know what goes in. That's for the front spar right here. It goes to the wheel. And they made a fender so the dirt don't fly in your face. Looks like we're gonna make it while we're building.
See, I
it
took
in the
off the
garage.
front wheel, and then it would tilt up, and my Lincoln would go underneath it this side, and
Moved car.
My Blazer on the other side wasn't as long as the Lincoln, so I had enough room. And that's where she was anchored, out of the weather.
Got some questions? Call Jimmy up on.
We're into April, too.
Put the tanks on the wheel, grease the wheel bearing grease.
Yeah, that's something. Check it now and then for grease, because there's no roller bearings in there. It's some kind of a hard material. But you have to grease it. But you don't do that much running. 50 feet, you're off the ground, Glenn. 50, you're back down.
Tightening some of the nuts. We got the control stick here. We can't hook that until the elevator's on. Push rock goes back to the elevator. To see how everything measures out, here's the cables. You give them a little twist in the middle. Back to the rudder.
You notice on those cables I got a piece of plastic tubing so that the cables, if they rub together, they don't chafe. It's like a nylon tubing.
Everything seems to fit. Pretty accurate.
What's nice about this, you can inspect this entire plane without having to look behind crevices or anything. They're all out in the open. Your pre-flights. Just make sure all those little tags are hanging. It's another one of my creations. You don't see that there while you double check.
You don't see them on, you're in trouble.
That cushion was so that it wouldn't hit the ground because the motor wasn't on yet.
Goes on up under the wing here, under the stabilizer rather.
It's all aircraft material, stainless steel.
There's our rudder. My manifold, red paint with 1200 degree Fahrenheit paint, so it should work. When the plane is yellow and red, I thought it'd have a red muffler system. I have to make me a little dashboard here for my gauges.
Yeah, that was my own creation, the dashboard.
Right about here is where the I think that's for the muffler, so I stuck the muffler bracket in there. The engine sits there, and then the muffler comes around onto these two. Nothing on the print indicating that those two holes are for a muffler. In fact, I had these thrust bar, this little bracket right there up in that hole until I realized we have nothing for the muffler. So it's trial and error as I go along.
There's that dandy windshield.
Huh?
It's cut cockeyed.
Now, if I can dig up Houdini and have him instruct me how to put it on, that is a winner.
April 10th.
That thing has to go on this bar here and flap in a breeze, or in my face, I don't know which, with a couple of ties on it.
He was using tie wraps to hold it. I put those small little bungee cords I picked up in Kmart.
How to remove the wing.
At least they can flap and spring.
And garaging.
And I put the curvature to it. These are the instructions.
Holes for plastic ties. 2 on the top. And we got one there in one corner and one on the other.
Now he's telling me here to use fuel line. I was confused. This is the fuel line. What he was using the fuel line for is to cushion the plastic. So I bought that 1-inch insulated material there with glue backing, and I put it all the way down the front where the glass hits up against. There shouldn't be any damage to that windshield.
Weather's been lousy.
And recut it.
Too much more on this. Ready to mount the motor on. Still have that in the basement. Wash it. Near the edge of the trailing bracket.
You have that beautiful schematic he gave me for the BRS. These were a couple of pictures he sent me. I think I gave them to you.
Motor struck there. April 29th.
There we are, April 29th.
I finally got the engine on by myself.
You see the nuts holding the engines? They only send you 4, 2 on each side. But I went out and bought 2 more to double them up.
These holes.
You see they're double nuts on there now.
By yourself.
Safety first, Glenn.
Next job will be line up the muffler to see where all these springs get welded.
Yeah.
Hooks. There's the dashboard I completed.
You notice some of that tape is underneath that dashboard to eliminate vibration.
My 4 gauges. Right. My strobe light. We're getting there. And summer's coming on real fast. We shall continue. Well, I temporarily hooked up the exhaust, so...
Those are just elastic bands holding them together.
Have to be welded on there, right
so my instructor, he knew someone that could weld the brackets on it. You notice there's no brackets or nothing on here.
The way it lines up.
All right, here's May 8th. I'm going to try to put the wings on for the first time.
I made me a little puller here.
Now, that puller, Glenn, there's two
around.
nuts on there that come off. If you got a long distance to go, you just take the nuts and then hook them back on so that the puller doesn't come out of the holes. Otherwise, they slip out.
Flat, but I give it a fold.
Yeah, there's where I fold it and recut the windshield.
Get the sail and see what I can do here.
This is in my back lawn.
I think I got her draped right. Looks like the way it goes. So now I'll go get the leading strut and see if I can put that in. I want to try to do everything by myself.
Which I did.
Okay, we've got the leading spars in. Now we're going to go to the trailing edge. Straighten out the sail and see what we got here. Okay, we got the trailing edge spar in both wings and the fabric straightened out. Now we'll fold it forward and put the thrust spar, which is in the middle. Let's see what happens there. We're going to put on the trailing edge brackets for the compression strut. That goes on the trailing wing right over here, where that hole is. And then the strut is underneath there. We got to bolt that together. Let's see how we make out with that. Well, we got the wings up in the air. Not too easy a job so far.
I had to be my own photographer too. I had nobody to take my pictures. Otherwise, it would have been a little more
I'm going to try to put
explanatory.
in the wingtips and then the ribs. Let's see what happens there. Well, here it is, May 9th. I finally received my last part to the Weedhopper from Jim Thornton. The tachometer. G2173F, made in China. And over here is our terms of the sale when I ordered the craft. Date was 7/25/96.
Imagine that.
Today is May 8th, 97. There's Jim's name and my name. So, it looks like I have everything.
Not quite.
I'm just hoping I can assemble that wing.
I think I'm still missing something for the carburetor.
This goes up to 8,000 RPM. A little breezy. We have our satchel here with our wing in it, about 14 feet long, with the covering on the wing and all the tubes. This is all our bars in here, other tubes, struts, ribs. So we shall commence at 11:15. We started at 10:15, and here it is 11:46. And we finally got the wings up in the air. Now we've got to put in all of the ribs. See how that goes. It's quite a tussle. Now the holes are all tight, everything. I gotta put the wingtips on yet. That's a hard part. See if I can get those in. Those are right in this bag here. We shall continue. Almost 12:30 and I cannot get this right wingtip in. Just seems to be awful tight. So I stuck the ribs in to see if it would stretch it a little. It's not an easy task. I want to do it alone.
See, when you're doing it alone, it isn't. But I think once that stretches a little, in fact, I even cut down the wingtip rib. Then I made, you'll see a little piece of nylon on each side of the wing that would hold that wingtip in. That was my doing. And it made it easier. You'll see a little piece bolted in at the end.
Trying to get things in order here. We roughed in all the wire the day he was here.
Yeah, I got the instructor to do all the wiring because I ain't much on wiring an airplane.
Put some straps on it, tie wraps. Got all my gauges in. Hope they operate. Identified them in high and low temperatures. I noticed their toolkit was tied to that upright tubing there, so I took an old shaving kit and put the tools in there with a zipper and tie wrapped that on. I'm working on the ballistics. That ERS is some company.
That was another hunk of fun.
Call them about 4 times, send parts back and forth. Had to make some brackets, put it underneath with some rubber tubing to cushion it so it doesn't rattle or scratch or come loose. I have it up here on the tail. I got the dual action fuel pump. And Jim's choke that arrived a couple days ago, I installed that right there, a hand choke. We didn't have that. It didn't come with it.
That was the last part I received, part of the hand choke.
Everything routed here. Right here's for our exhaust, when we get that. Time is marching on. July 25th will be 1 year since I ordered this crap, and we're still not in the air. Deciding whether to hook this on this strut or put it on the down strut here with the landing gear. check with Rizzy, see what he thinks. I don't have the ballistic hooked in yet until I find out how much. Okay. I made that out of aluminum and stainless steel bolts, which I bought. So that works pretty good. I don't know how Jim put his. He says he built it up with something. That's anchored right on there. I think that just about covers everything you did. This is my one car. I put a couple of rubber grommets there, so in case I touch it with the headlight. And the other car is about 3-4 feet away from it. This one's about 6-8 inches away. But it works, stays inside. I don't have to put it out in the weather. We can even open the back door without hitting the stabilizer. And it just clears the roof by a couple inches. I'm telling you, you couldn't plan this way. So I took the wheel off, made a little wooden peg so I don't mar the aluminum tubing there. And it works out. I got the floor marked, so I know exactly where it fits. White crayon. Now if we can get Rizzy here, ain't much left to do here other than I got the pull cord here for the chute, but I didn't put it into the rocket yet. It's sitting right here in the top. How many hours? It's 4:30 and we finally got all the struts in.
And this is the second time I assembled the wing by myself in my backyard.
We shall continue and see what happens. 501, now comes the challenge to put in the wingtips. This is where I had my problems. I made a little device to put on the leading edge strut. I want to see if it works. This is the reason why I'm reassembling this thing today. Just to see if my invention works.
Notice it's 1 year and a few days since I ordered this thing, which was supposed to come within 7 to 8 weeks.
We will continue. These are covers for my blades so they don't get scratched up. I-27. And I finally got the wingtips in and the rates. What a job. My little blocks worked.
Yeah, see,
it's just that the sail is so tight. And all to do to get this spot in right here. I really
2 minutes would be very easy to
get on a ladder.
get it stretched a little.
It was hard. Still can't get that middle right in. Maybe once
Well, that's when I called up Jim. He says, forget it.
Longest one.
You don't need it.
Will not go in.
Which we didn't.
So there she is. All she needs right now is gas and a carburetor filter, which I didn't put on yet. She should fly. And I'm waiting for my instructor. He's so busy. 5:29. I deal with it. That's my tow bar for pulling it around the yard and out of the garage and in the garage. My ballistic chute. Took 3 times to get parts from DRS to get the right parts. She should be ready for a test flight as soon as my instructor's ready. Sewed up a couple of protectors for the blade. A little Velcro to hold them on because they seem to be a very fragile looking blade. Now we shall disassemble it. Took a flight and she's coming in for here it is, August 9th. Saturday.
This is the airport where I had it for
Marlboro.
a short period of time.
They're fixing up a few things on the plane.
That's the instructor with the white t-shirt.
This is a new fella here. He's got his plane here.
They're challengers. He's the Challenger dealer. Wrecked cars all around.
I think this is Ivan's.
See all the junk cars all along on each side of this runway, which didn't make me too thrilled.
Beautiful, ain't it?
There's a plane I helped them build a little on. They just flight tested it a month or so before. Around July, I guess.
They're up for a spin. What, Pop? I'm going to drill a hole. Pop it right in there. Set.
You notice he's a very fast worker. Having a little hard job starting this one. Had a starter, but I guess the battery was dead or something. Notice all the junk cars around
There you
there?
go.
Makes you a little nervous, I guess, learning how to fly there.
Ivan is up.
Got a little, he's an elderly lad too. Man, I should say. Got a little 277 on this thing. Forget what they call these. He keeps it here at the airport. It's a one-wing job. Oh, I can't think of the name right now. All wire struts and what have you on it. It's pretty old too. He's got two of them.
Atlanta.
That's the gentleman. He's 73, 74 years old. But he's been flying a while.
Garage I'll use temporarily until Vinny gets his new plane built. Joe Roney has it right now, but he is reconstructing this area right here to put his plane in. He's going to put doors on that. This is Joe right here. So I'm going to load it onto my trailer.
There's my little flatbed that I made. It doesn't have springs like I mentioned to you, so I
Got the rams. And
keep the tires soft. Made the own ramps. Got a winch on it.
Head for
I used to carry my Buckeye parachute job around on that.
airport.
And then I had it designed for a trike
Let's
also.
continue. We got everything anchored down here. We're going to take off. It's 10 after 10. I hope everything rides good. Try to cushion these struts so they don't bang too much.
Yeah, I have those pads underneath.
Trailer bed. Got blankets under it. So on and so forth. And away we go.
It's my homemade trailer.
Here we are at the airport. It's 11 o'clock. I opened up the doors. The hangar here. I'm going to start unstrapping it. Take her off the trailer and back her in the hangar. Start assembling the wings. It's a successful trip. Everything rode pretty good as far as I can see.
It's about a 25-mile run one way.
Here we go. Oh, here it's 1 o'clock. I hooked up my ballistic chute. Got the truss bars in and the leading edge bars. Now we do the trailing and then the ribs and the wing tips. And we shall see what we can get. All my equipment here. I'll continue. Oh, here it is, 20 minutes to 3. And I finally got her all together. All she needs is the cables for the ballistic hooked up and fill her with gas. Away she goes. Got her in the garage here. All set to go. So, we shall get ready to go home now. Tools. And I also have to hook up the cabling to the BRS, which is already activated. Nobody's here yet. But the boys should be coming in from the city. pretty shortly, I guess. We should. Then he's just going to play with it a little on the ground.
There she's going now for her first flight. That's the old timer that had that other airplane, and that's Vinny at the controls, instructor. He's adjusting the gas a little, get it right.
This is the first she's going out on the field. Broken.
He wants to make sure that it's got a certain amount of RPMs at idling. There she goes on her first flight. He takes her up and down the runway, I think 7 or 8 times before he really goes in the air. This fella here, he started out with hang gliders. He's 42 years old, and then he went to powered trikes, and then to fixed wings. He's never flown a Weedhopper before. This is his first time with a Weedhopper. But he has flown 2-axis planes, which he says is quite easy. But he's a Challenger man. He likes to sell us Challengers.
What do you think of that bag of worms? Yeah. 22 years it's been. He's afraid that the prop is so close to the ground. He's afraid. What the hell am I going to do?
Prop really isn't that close. If you notice, it's over a foot away. He's getting the feel of it right now. I think he does this about 7 times. And up and away he goes.
At least you don't have to use the rudder for turning this thing.
She'll turn on a dime.
Tricycle gear. He climbed 40, 50 feet. She's up. Yeah, yours too. In fact, this is 100 and, the hell is it, 68 square feet to wing. Don't seem like that crosswind is tilted him any. No. Ah, geez, that seems dead. I don't know. Yeah, the car's down.
Isn't it nice to plow into one of them buses or house trailer or junk cars?
You see her sputter when he gives it the gas? I told him. He says, wait till she breaks in. He's just itching to just see if it picks up.
And he corrected it a little. She needed just a little more gas. Probably had to keep adjusting. See, he's got the front wheel off. You notice that? We tilted her back. Those are some trikes running up and down the runway here, motorbikes.
We got a bunch of them.
Right.
A little wobbly here with this camera.
That's what you gotta do when you first fly.
Oh, yeah.
Add a little more power, then you breathe the nose off.
Did you ever fly one of these?
Not a Weedhopper.
No. I think he wants to get the nose wheel up. I don't think it's been up yet.
Not yet.
Yeah, he had it up that last time. You could just see it lift off. There it is again.
Yeah, yeah. You got her.
Now he's using a rudder to steer. That's what he wanted, to get the feel of the rudder, I guess.
Started to get a little light, the nose came off.
Yeah.
It wasn't that going that fast.
It's coming in the home port, looks like. Yeah. Looks like he feels he's silly in that thing.
Yeah.
You know that? See, now there's a little south wind blowing.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
I thought he had a lesson today.
I don't know. He says that Joe Rooney's coming, you know. Later they're going to do a little cross-country hopping. See her breaking down when he gives it the throttle? I think it needs more gas, but he said let it. He's got her nose up. Wheels up.
Hey, it's actually getting warm.
Yeah, well, they said in the 60s. Yeah, well, it could be 69, you know?
Yeah.
Tomorrow's supposed to be warmer.
Yeah.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm going to Lake George.
Oh, aren't they? Oh, I was going to say they're kind of closing shop up there.
Yeah, they probably are, you know. But we went to Chronicle up to Austerlitz, and it was a lot of color, man. Maybe it's a little bit more, so I don't know.
Yeah, we got another blast today.
We made it. Get up there and see sticks. We did that once before.
Bare limbs, eh?
My excuses, they were nothing.
All gone. All on the ground.
Oh, you missed it, huh?
Are they? has preference over? No, I mean the RC. Oh, you're talking about the. I was thinking of radio control.
Yeah. Well, Charlie knows. Charlie.
Who's Charlie?
Charlie.
The pilot there? That,
Yeah.
Oh, okay. He's got one too?
No, I don't know if he's got an RC.
Oh. He's coming in to fly then, or? Mm-hmm. Two main wheels are still compact.
I guess, Glenn, this is the most important part, is getting a feel of that thing on the ground. Running her back and forth if you got to do it all day long. And dead wind also, like you said, the plane you had just lifted off the runway
Couldn't see him there.
without you realizing it because of a little wind. I think he's going to take her up a few feet and back down again. I think this time. I don't know. I wasn't counting them. Yeah, he's giving her a little full. There he goes. He took her up.
He got her off the ground that time, and she was swaying a little to one
He
side.
gave her a little more RPM. You could hear the old motor rev up. And I say old, I mean O-L-L, not O-L-D. This time he might blast off, unless he gives it another slight hop. Let's see how far down he goes. As long as he don't go into the bus. You notice the hard pack there on the ground, those pebbles and rocks? That's what the old blade sucks up. Try to pick a nice grassy field or a blacktop runway. Yeah, I think he's going to blast off this time. He's up. No? No, he didn't. And it's the next time. I had my camera ready and everything when you fellas were here, and being we were so concerned over the weather, I never took a picture of you guys, my little old plane leaving. I never even asked you if I could lead you back to the thruway. I hope you made out all right going back. That's like a chooch. In Italian, that means a donkey. This is crying out loud here. If you notice, the camera was right on the kitchen cabinet, not the cabinet. Yeah, I think he's gone up this time. There she goes. I'm having a little hard job
This time.
following them.
She goes on her first flight.
Notice how nice and level. And let's see how this turns now. If I can keep the camera on it, it's not too easy. I lose them there a few times. I got one of the older model cameras, and pretty hard to catch something when you have to look through the small scope. And then the focusing, you gotta wait for it to synchronize itself. See, here I lost it now. I can't pick them up.
Can't pick them up there. Finishing.
He went around and around, I don't know how many times. He was up about 20, 25, 30 minutes, I forget. He wanted to stay near the field, so he kept circling. Come on, focus in.
Come on, clear up here.
There she is in flight, Glenn. That's what you're going to look like up there. The Wright brother. He does. See her lean? She... Now you can study the tape a little more. I got to see how this tape comes out, because all I'm doing is taking pictures of that television set that you saw downstairs. Now here he comes in. Here we got a house trailer. I guess he's going to pass that. Beautiful land. Look at that.
Beautiful. Son of a gun, he can handle these things.
First time he ever flew a Weedhopper.
He hasn't. Never flew one of these.
And that was her only flight. October 12th. I should have asked him more questions, but I was so excited there, I didn't even... Did I? That's him and the old-timers there. They're talking over the... See, he's telling the guy it's a little unusual because of not having ailerons. Yeah, see, that's why the wings lift up.
Here's the 17th. I'm out to the field and I'm dismantling my little Weedhopper here. think she's gonna go on a sailboat. Cleaned it up.